Alright guys, a couple of days ago I spent time with one of the best lady golfers in the world, and she's one of the longest drivers of the golf ball in the game, Anne Van Dam. I was at the Aramco Lady Series down at Centurion Club, and I did like a mini documentary behind the scenes before she went out to play. It's a really good chat. She's got loads lined up this year. She's even going to the Olympics, which is exciting. And she gives some really key, insightful tips of how you can hit the ball longer as well. Right guys, without further ado, let's head over to Centurion with Anne Van Dam. When did you first start playing golf?
I was quite young. My dad, he played a little. My sister's 2 years older, she played a little bit too, and I was probably about 4 or 5 years old. And yeah, just swinging a few clubs, but nothing too serious. Like, I didn't really get into it that much until I was probably like 14 years old. So I was swimming at the time too, and I always thought that was going to be my sport. Didn't turn out that way, but yeah, I kind of slowly got started into golf. Golf is not an easy sport as a kid to get into in Holland. Not a lot of kids play golf, so if you tell your friends, you know, you're playing golf on Saturday or Sunday, they look at you weird while you're not playing field hockey or, you know, doing something else. I was lucky I had a very good national team coach, and we literally worked like every single day on it, and he was so committed to me and me towards him that we just really made kind of like a plan and just went for it together. And yeah, that was really cool. I learned a lot from him. It definitely took a little bit of time, but once I got older and really made it my own thing, I didn't want to be anywhere else. I started to really love it myself.
What were your handicap when you were like 14 or
It's such
16?
a hard question. I would say when I was 14, I probably should sometimes in the 70s.
Okay.
I have no idea. Like it's
probably single figures.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
When you turned pro, how old were you? 18 when you turned pro?
I was, yeah, 18.
And what did you have a handicap then? 18?
Yeah, I think I was like plus 4.5, something like that. It was pretty cool, yeah. To then lose it and then be 0, and no one ever talks about a handicap again.
It's crazy.
As an amateur, all they care about is what's your handicap, and you look it up online every week after you play to see if you improved, and yeah, one day it's just gone and never asked about again.
So when you broke out onto tour, so 7 years ago, like, how was that? What was that like for you? Was that quite life-changing?
It was. You know, I was used to traveling with my national team and being amongst my friends and national coaches every week. To suddenly you're there by yourself. I remember my first tournament was all the way in Australia. I was 18 and there I went. By the time I got there, I had the time of my life, and it was so much fun. But yeah, I think definitely my first year out on the LET, I struggled quite a little bit just because, you know, that change from amateur golf to professional golf, and you know, I had really good few amateur years as my last amateur years, and you know, then coming out on tour, no one knows you, no one cares about you. You know, you have to kind of prove yourself, which is cool in a way too. But yeah, it definitely took me some time to feel comfortable, settle in.
How long were you on tour before you had your first win?
I had a win in my second year on tour, which was cool. It was towards the end of my second year, and yeah, it came, I think, exactly at the right time. It came kind of unexpected in a way, like I wasn't playing that well, and it's something I've always stuck in the back of my mind. You know, it doesn't matter if you're not having your best few months or best year. Golf is such a weird game. You can win literally any week if you just believe in yourself. And you know, to win my first week like that, or first pro win like that, yeah, it was really awesome. It's just unreal. I mean, you don't know how you feel, basically. You know, you work towards something like that your whole life, and then when it happens, you have no idea how to feel. Are you relieved? Are you nervous about the next one? Yeah, just so much comes towards you. But yeah, for me personally, it was just a great win to kind of have that weight off my shoulders to be like, I'm definitely good enough to play out here. And yeah, if you see my game trending after that win, I think I made like 14 straight cuts, and yeah, I just played so much better after that. It's crazy. And that was big. That was big for me at that time in golf. You know, you have to prove yourself every year and re-earn your rights, if that makes sense. And yeah, with a win like that, you don't have to think about that for 3 years.
Been on the bag with Anne since September, A&A of COVID year. We met actually back in Dubai and just kind of became friends then. I'm lucky to work with Anne because she's so talented out here, you know, with her distance and stuff, so it actually was quite an easy transition for me. Yeah, I love working with her. I'll tell you what, it's impressive seeing some of these girls hit hybrids and 3-woods and woods into these greens. And you know, they stop on a dime, they hit them to 5 feet, and I'm in awe all the time of how good their game is, their long iron and hybrid game is. That's something that I don't see on the men's tour. It's just super impressive.
You are in the Olympics this year. Like, how exciting is that to be called an Olympian?
It's really cool. Same thing like as my first win. I have no idea how to feel and think it would settle in more afterwards, I would say. But it's just a great honor. You know, golf is so individual and you play every week the same 72-hole stroke play event for money. Basically, that's what we do. To then just have an event where you represent not only your country, but yeah, basically so much more than that. And all your coaches growing up, all your friends who you were in the national team with, they all had a little bit of a part in that success of getting there. So I think for a lot of people it's going to be really cool to see, and I'm going to be the first female to represent Holland at the Olympics. So yeah, hopefully I can take back a medal and make it worthy for everyone.
So we've just been watching you hit some balls on the range and you absolutely crush it. And when you look through your stats on tour, you're a long hitter. You were the longest on LET last year, currently longest on LPGA, I believe. Is that something you've worked on, your distance, or is it very natural?
It's funny, I worked a lot on it with my national coach. You know, when I was that age, like 14, 15, 16, he told me, it's like, you always have to hit it as hard as you can. Doesn't matter if you hit it offline, you know, your skills from there on will only improve. You know, if you hit in the trees or in the rubbish, you know, you have to kind of scramble. But yeah, I would say now it's like I don't work on it at all. I mean, some weeks I feel really good and you kind of, you know, it's nice and warm and your body feels good and your technique is like right on point, and that's a moment where you can really trust it and like hit it all out. And yeah, other weeks you might feel a little less secure, if that makes sense.
When do you think the longest lady on tour will average over 300?
I think on LPGA this year I could get pretty close. I think I'm right. I think I'm like 290 something. So that would be really cool. Obviously it's not like a massive goal, that's what I'm trying to achieve, but yeah, it could be this year, or I would say definitely within the next 3 years.
All right, Anne, I'm intrigued and I'm sure everyone watching. Give us a couple of tips how to hit the ball longer.
I think what a lot of people do is they try to swing faster and faster from the start of the swing. For me, if I want to hit like a long drive, I almost feel like I take it back slower and really feel like I load in my right leg and stay on my right leg.
Okay.
So I don't want to have too much weight shifting back and forth. I think when you load all the way to your right, feel you can stay here and sweep the ball, you're going to hit the highest launch with a positive attacking. And then if you speed that up, you can hit it as far as you can.
Smooth back, load the right side.
Feel like you stay there.
And then fast here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the more you go from here to your left one, you're stuck.
Yeah, you start hitting down too much.
Yeah, and then through the ball, you're gonna back off again.
Show us that then.
Okay.
So if you're trying to properly go for a longer one, do you do anything different?
Yeah, I mean sometimes you almost make me see a practice swing where I feel like it's a big turn, I almost stay here for a second, and then kind of try to copy that and hit it from there. Where you can see that those ones are way higher because I stay more on my right, so I have a higher attack angle.
How much extra distance does that give you?
Probably a good 15 on carry.
Very, very nice. A lot of people probably know you from golf and what you do in golf. Like, what do you enjoy doing outside of golf as well?
Basically sports. I love playing sports. Like I said, I love working out. I love doing cardio. Love to go on like long bike rides, runs, stuff like that. I love exploring cities that I'm in. Really like good food, so either cooking myself or going to like nice restaurants, hang out with my friends. Just yeah, pretty crazy. I think my life is pretty hectic.
Goals for the next 5 years?
5 years, I would say. Yeah, win a couple of times out on the LPGA and win a major. That's the only two things missing from my resume.
With you almost setting a new benchmark in distance to a degree, you know, you're knocking on the door of 300 yards. Do you see it becoming a trend more on the LET and the LPGA?
I would say so, for sure. If I see, you know, some of the national team girls from Holland now, they're in the gym, they're working out, they're trying to hit it as far as they can, and it's cool to see. In my time, it wasn't really like a thing, right? It was just hit it straight again. Where now you see young girls really trying, and that for me is awesome. If I only had 1% part of that, that makes me very happy, and to see them really try is just awesome. I'm very excited to see where the women's golf game will be headed, you know, the next 5 to 10 years. I think you'll see a lot of really sick athletes who crush the ball and make it very attractive to watch.
Boom. Yes, 3. Yeah. Party time.